trago fé. On the album. The people can find the album on all digital platforms for now. At a later stage, it'll be in physical shops. We'll let everyone know, etc. The more percussive. So speak now when we come. Speak now when we come. Well, now you know. Two good days. I wanna be happy. Two good days. Let's be happy. Two good days. I wanna be happy. Two good days. Let's be happy. Life is what you make it. Forget about your worries. Read off all you don't need and begin to live your truth. Kubego ngayegeli, noma kwente ganina. You carry on. Everything happens for a reason. You gotta know which way to go. I wanna be happy. Two good days, let's be happy. Two good days, I wanna be happy. Two good days, let's be happy. Go for what you want, begin to live it. Go for what you want, begin to live your life. Begin to live your life. Go for what you want, begin to live your life. Do you wanna be happy? Go for what you want. Do you wanna be happy? Go on and be happy. Go for what you want. Do you wanna be happy? Do you wanna be happy? Go for what you want. Go on and be happy. Do you wanna be happy? Go for what you want. Do you wanna be happy? Do you wanna be happy? Go for what you want. Do you wanna be happy? Do you wanna be happy? Go for what you want. Begin to live your life. Now go for what you want. Begin to live your life. Go for what you want. Begin to live your life. I know it's been long. We haven't spoken in a while. I know you love me. Your love is unconditional. Whatever it takes, how long it takes, I'll do right by you. Cause you amaze me and it scares me. I'm unworthy of your love. Your love. Your love. Your love.
Welcome everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Please show me some emoji if you were just feeling that jam. Trust me, I was feeling that jam. Please show me some emoji. Love hearts. Hello. Hi. Something. Let me know that you're there. Okay. 10 people on the call. Right, we're not going to be one of those people that are late. We're just going to jump right into it and start what we came here for. I always say, even if there were two people in the room, as long as we're getting things done, we would start off. I'm really excited to see you. Thanks for all the emoji, Sheyi, Haramide, Isaiah, Awa. At this moment, I would just take a moment. Let me just put on my camera. And if you're also out there and you want to put on your camera, you're also welcome to do that. Trust me, I just took a moment to do one of those things. If you know how people do things, you know that we have to clean the camera. But so good to see each and every one of you. If you're putting on your camera, Tanele, it's good to see you. Welcome, Oluwaseyi Modakaya. I see you with the headphones there, looking powerful. I like the pose. It's a pose of I'm ready to be the best Tech for Good Africa ambassador. I see you there. Mary Jane, welcome from just joining in. Don't worry, we're those people that recognize when people just join in. We're ready for you, ready to give you a hug and some love. One thing about Tech for Good Africa community is that we're a community of love. We're a community of just embracing everybody, welcoming everybody into our community. So welcome each and every one of you guys to the Tech for Good Africa Enter into Tech for Good program. This is one of our flagship programs to make sure that everybody understands what we do, why we're doing it, and I'm hopeful that each and every one of you guys will learn a lot today. God, give me. Okay, I'm back. As you can see, I'm in the office. I've not left my office, so I work, and people are coming in and out of my office, so please pardon me. I'll be moderating as best as I can today. My name is Samuel Efosa Austin. I am the president of Tech for Good Africa. Again, welcome to Enter All into Tech for Good Africa program. We're not going to waste too much time. We're going to jump right into it. So at this moment, again, we're going to use this, let's say, the next minute to get to know one another. So whoever you are at the moment, please type your name in the chat and what you do, right? Type your name in the chat and what you do. You see, I'm not asking you where you're from, because I know many people, they thought I would do that. They thought I would say, write your name in the chat and tell me where you're from. No, write your name in the chat and tell me what you do at the moment. I'm looking forward to seeing all of this. I'm looking forward to seeing it. I should be sharing my screen. I wonder why that keeps disappearing. Whenever I'm talking, okay, it's back. All right, where's the chats? I'm looking forward to seeing some cool people. Okay, where's everybody? Let's see. I want to see some cool people. It's already. Oh, it was great. Okay, glad to be here. Hello, Samuel. Nice to meet you. Awa, hello. It's glad to be here. Timmy, how's it going? Can't wait. Community of love. Yeah, it's community of love. That's what we are. Thank you. Looking forward to the conversation. Hey, Mary Jane. All right. Awa is a visual artist, digital marketer. Okay, love it. I'm Ugochi Obialo Echo, a business analyst. We love BAs. You know, we don't see a lot of BAs these days, but they're so internal. They actually convert companies from what they normally do with traditional paper and converting them to tech. If you do not know what a business analyst is, because most time people hear business analysts and don't think that they do tech, but actually what they do is convert business processes to tech. Welcome, Ugo. Temi Oluwa is the urban planner, community manager of Tech for Good Africa. We love Temi. Temi is the energy of Tech for Good Africa. You'll be seeing him a lot in the chats, just chatting to you. We'll bring him up later on to get us all engaged. Nosipo, international civil servant. I love that. A international civil servant. Wow, we're doing it internationally. Mary Jane Nosipo, nice to meet you. Judith Felix is a writer. Judith, nice to meet you. Aramide or Rukayat is a virtual assistant. We love Rukayat. Rukayat is one of the leaders at Tech for Good Africa. We're excited to see you. Ogundeye Oluwaseyi Mordecai is currently working as an IT support engineer. Sheyi, funny thing is I met him 2 weeks ago in church. He was standing next to me and both of us were energized dancing. That was even you with the headphone. Hey Sheyi, good to see you. Good to see you. We danced so much in church and Sheyi was like, I need to become your friend. Your energy is too much. Me and you need to become friends. And now we're here together. It's good to see you, my brother. Good to see you. Christian Jeremiah, a graphic designer, event manager, and voiceover artist. Okay, Christian, you know the funny thing, next time I wouldn't be doing this moderation. You come and do it. I need to hear that amazing voice of yours. Glad to be here. Awesome. I'm Isaiah SEN, data scientist and analyst. Isaiah, it's good to see you. One of the core people I know as well. Gideon Pamgom. If I mess up your name, please pardon me. Active learner of AI and machine learning. I just released upon you that you will not just be a learner, you will actually become a doer of AI and machine learning. Nice to meet you, Gideon. Julius is here. Julius, I'm sure you're just joining in. If you're just joining in, guys, just write in the chat your name and what you do. We have 16 people on the call. I'm literally just spending all this time to let us get to 5:10, but I might not waste too much time. Yes. Okay. All right. Again, remember, we are Tech for Good Africa. And why should everyone enter into Tech for Good Africa? Someone sent me a message on LinkedIn the other day while they were seeing this program, and I know he's on the call here today. And he said to me, is this program only for entry-level people? And I said to myself, no, it's not for entry level, it's for all. It says it in the name, enter all into Tech for Good. And the reason why we have this movement is to be able to blend technology, sustainability of our nation, and even civic innovation. I'm going to take a moment here to ask each and every one of you, who knows? Oh, hey, Mercy, brand consultant, it's good to have you here. Who knows what civic innovation is? If you do know what civic innovation is, please type it in the chat. I'm curious to see if people know what civic innovation is. If you know what civic innovation is, type it in the chat. I just want to see if anybody knows what civic innovation is. Anyone? Welcome people that are joining in. If you're just joining in, please write where you're from. Innovations that leads to social good. Amazing. Sahaf Ali, I don't even know. If you're just joining in, just write your name and where you're joining. No, not where you're joining from, what you do. Your name and what you do. I took a moment there to just talk to the Holy Spirit. Okay. Civic innovation. Temi Oluwa has a face like, have I ever thought about what this is? Civic innovation. I know innovation, the creation of new ideas, but what is civic innovation? Sahif Ali is from Pakistan. Wow, we're doing Tech for Good Africa. We have our friend from Pakistan and is a law student. Welcome, Saif. I'm sure that's Saif. Welcome, Saif Ali. Welcome. Okay, I'm still looking for what is civic innovation. I love the definition where someone says innovation that leads to social good. I love it. Any other definition? I'm curious. Come on, guys. There's 18 people on the call. I'm only seeing one definition. What is civic innovation? Come on, let's be engaged. What is civic innovation? new technologies or methodologies that solve societal problem. Okay, I can see some people are catching up already. Lovely. It's good to see this. Good to see this. Okay. Innovations that do good for society. I love Tammy. Tammy is like, everything we do now is for good. As a community manager, everything we do is for good now for the society. I love that. That's our best community manager ever. Yes. Any more before we move on? Okay, we've passed the time now. We've passed the time that we're supposed to be moving forward. Okay, welcome everyone again. As a participant, all of you guys become ambassadors of Tech for Good Africa. We're looking forward to your journey. And through your journey, you will go on from being an ambassador to a leader. And our hope is that you own businesses, you own things that can make you become partner to help us do more technology, sustainability, and civic innovation across the continents. Where's my mouse? All right. So today we'll not waste time. We'll have our first speaker, our second speaker will come up after that, and then our third speaker. We'll have an interactive session with our community manager, and it'll come back to me again, President of Tech for Good Africa, and we'll close off after that. Let me just read a little bit about what's been put on the chat. Wow, there's a huge one there. Civic innovation is the use of creative ideas, technology, and collaborative approach. I love that one. That was what I was looking for the most, collaborative approach to improve how communities, governments, and citizens solve public problems and enhance the quality of life. Innovation that impacts positively on the lives of people, simply put, a cultural solution to a problem. So if your problem, as I always say, is not solving your village people's problem, or your solution is not solving your village people problem, you are wrong. So if you're doing civic innovation, it must be solving the problem of your village people. Okay. Now we're going to have our first speaker come on board. Tenele Habanga. I hope I'm saying this name correctly. Tenele Habanga is a Sacre Goodwill Ambassador for Gender Equality. Okay, that's not supposed to move that way. Let's go back. All right. I was trying to move this off my screen so I can read this. All right. She's a Goodwill Ambassador for Gender and Youth Empowerment. You can see her on the screen looking glorious. A seasoned energy professional, passionate advocate for sustainable development, consistently emphasizing how stable and sustainable energy assets underpins Africa's growth. She is a powerhouse in Africa's energy space, using her voice and expertise to drive inclusive, sustainable solutions across the continent, from leading energy systems to shaping policies that impact lives. And she'll be bringing us some real-world insight today. Tenele, please, in the chats, emojis, all of that, let's give Tenele a very, very warm welcome. Tenele, it's good to have you. The floor is yours. If you want to share a screen, please let me know.
All right, thanks, Samuel. Thank you so much. Yes, I would like to share the screen.
Okay, let me stop sharing.
Sure. Okay, please confirm if you can see my screen.
Yes, we can see your screen.
Okay, perfect. And it's in presenter view?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. So greetings again to everyone. I am Mrs. Tenele Habangan, as I've already been introduced by Samuel. And I'm so excited to have this opportunity to speak to Africa's hope and Africa's future. The aim really of my presentation today is to probably leave you with some values, strategies, and hopefully a vision to enable you to harness sustainability, equity, inclusive growth for Africa and its people. And the hope is that from the session, we will all be one big step closer to helping to solve Africa's energy issues, because the Africa of tomorrow desperately needs us. And so before we dive into the practical
Guys, is that just me or we lost Tenele? Just wanted to confirm that it's not just me.
Yes, I think we lost her.
Okay, let's just give her a moment. This is one of the things that we at Tech for Good Africa should be fixing. Internet issues. Okay, let's just give her a moment. Oh, she disappeared completely. I was already getting very excited and hyped up for that. How many people were getting excited for that? I was already like, when I saw that second screen, I was ready. I was already ready. Okay, she's back. Okay.
I'm back. Surprise, surprise. Power cuts.
We were already saying that we're at Tech for Good Africa, we're going to be solving internet issues across Africa.
Yeah.
Okay,
Great.
over back
So
to
let me
you.
reshare my screen. Okay, confirming that you can see my screen.
Yes, we can.
Yes, we
All
can.
right. Perfect. Thank you so much. So I was saying that in 1996, Thabo Mbeki, former president of the Republic of South Africa, delivered his iconic I Am an African speech, painting a picture of a continent rich with a past of triumph and struggle, yet brimming with potential, dreams, and hope. And so today we stand on the cusp of a new era. We have new challenges, new tools to meet them. And one of these challenges is energy poverty. And some of the tools that we can use to solve these energy poverty challenges is technology and innovation. And so just as generations before us built nations from the ground up, we are now the generation with the power to build a new kind of future, one that is empowered not by old systems, but by cleaner and intelligent systems. A future where innovation unlocks prosperity for every village girl and boy, and for every city slicker and cosmopolite. This is a future that we need to build together. So let's look at this image on the screen. I always say one of the most telling types of maps is an electricity map. This image here is a global settlement level electrification image developed using a predictive model for more accurate electrical grid mapping. I'll say that again because I'm already talking innovation here. So it's an image developed using predictive models for more accurate electrical grid mapping. And you look at Africa, it looks kind of dark. But if you have the mindset of a leader, the mindset of a solutionist, the darkness does not deter you, but it's rather a blank canvas for the potential of bright lights that will represent the extent of human development on the continent. Africa has the opportunity to turn her blank canvas into an amazing story of resilience and grit, but also of bringing light in a sustainable way that, number one, leaves no person behind, and number two, does not burden any other person, whether present or future, with the consequences of the sustainable action. Perhaps what I can also point out is that what's worse is that if we adjusted this map to basically show electrification through renewable energy sources, a lot more parts would be darker, not just in Africa. Traditional energy sources from fossil fuels still dominate the energy mix. So for every kilowatt hour that we are using here on this planet, it is still dominated by fossil fuels. Energy is a big contributor to development, as you can see with all the lit up places in the world, but it's also a big contributor to global emissions. And so this highlights the need for technology and for innovation in the sector for Africa. Number one, we have over 600 million people whose right to basic needs of clean and reliable energy is compromised. And number two, we live on a continent which bears an increasingly heavy burden from climate change, and disproportionately high costs for essential climate adaptation. If there was ever a need for us as Africans to put our minds to good use and innovate to use tech for good, to light up this blank canvas and to address the challenge of energy access, sustainability, and efficiency, now is the time. And so how do we solve this massive challenge with tech? Where do tech and energy intersect? Thanks to technology, the energy sector has the intelligence needed to operate an entirely new yet complex system. But the sector transformation needs more than just technologies. Tech and innovation have introduced complex new problems that we need to solve. So we need solutions to meet the increasing energy demand. We need clean ways to generate and supply energy. And we also require solutions for grid integration so that we're able to seamlessly handle variable solar and wind power. We also need to figure out the electrification of whole industries, including the transport industry and manufacturing industry, which often need either high bursts of energy or they need high intensities of sustained energy. And then there's the full life cycle cost that we need to think about. When we design our new technologies, we need to design for the future, meaning we need to think about maintenance, we need to think about disposal and environmental impact. These things need to be on our minds from the start of our design and solution process. We cannot simply replace one set of fossil fuel problems with a new set of mining and lithium and metals mining or steel production problems. If we make that mistake, we will be subjecting the continent to even further burden due to climate change and environmental carelessness. And crucially, we also have a significant lack of data insights, which are needed to manage the new complexities of the energy system. Do customers have the data about their own usage? And do they have control over their usage in order to improve their efficiency? What will energy demand look like in the next hour, tomorrow, or next week, or even next year? So we need the intelligent application of technology and innovation, which must aim for a holistic, interconnected energy system, a system that is smart enough to basically handle these complexities and also to build a truly sustainable future. So I want us to explore some exciting innovations and applications in Africa's energy sector. And as we go through these, I encourage you to focus on this. Focus on the thought process behind, number one, identifying challenges, two, recognizing gaps, and then three, uncovering opportunities. So just focus on that thought process as we go through these. The first one I want to highlight speaks to innovation for energy security. So Africa faces a significant challenge with increasing attacks on its critical infrastructure, including energy grids. Just in May this year, in Eswatini, we experienced an outage of one of our major lines due to copper theft. And so these attacks, they don't only threaten local economies, but they have the potential to destabilize the entire continent. The fear of these security risks also is leading to a decline in foreign investment, which is what many of the continent's large infrastructure projects rely on. So what is the gap here? Both public and private sectors are now reassessing their security strategies. In order to combat the security threats, many of them are turning to autonomous systems, which means they're removing the human element of security in order to focus on AI and drone technologies that provide advanced security, which is what is needed. So in response to this growing need, there's a robotics and manufacturing startup that's based in Abuja, Nigeria, called Terra Industries, that stepped up to the challenge. They are developing an innovative autonomous security system that's powered by AI and drones that can detect threats and proactively safeguard critical industries, including energy. This basically presents a valuable opportunity to improve security and encourage investment across the continent, helping to secure Africa's economic future. Terra Industries has a project currently where they deploy AI-powered drones and surveillance towers at 2 hydroelectric power plants in Nigeria. And this is just one example of how tech and innovation systems are already being used on the continent to protect critical assets in energy. The next one that I want us to look at is a powerful example of innovation addressing multiple real-world problems at once. And this one is based in Uganda. So a lot of communities in Africa face the triple threat of challenges. They have limited access to energy, they have degraded soil, and they have inadequate sanitation. These problems are deeply connected. Poor sanitation leads to disease. Cooking with solid fuels like firewood or charcoal leads to indoor air pollution and premature death. And degraded soil makes farming less productive. And all of these impact especially women and young girls who often bear the burden of securing food and fuel. So this is a challenge that a company in Uganda is tackling. They're led by a female project engineer, and they saw the gap in how sanitation systems were failing to reclaim useful resources like energy or nutrients. And so their innovation was a bio-latrine, basically an eco-friendly toilet linked to a biogas digester. This system converts human waste into 2 valuable outputs: biogas, which is used for clean burning fuel or for cooking and heating, and organic fertilizer that enriches soil and boosts agricultural yields. This technology basically supports better hygiene, clean energy access, food security, environmental sustainability, health, so many things all at once. And the solution is not even some brand new creation. It's made from a mix of off-the-shelf components, proving that high-impact innovation does not need to be expensive or complex. It just needs to be locally relevant and well-designed. This is one of my favorite examples of how green innovation rooted in African realities can create systemic solutions with far-reaching impact. The next one that I want us to look at is in Tunisia, where a startup is helping industrial clients to solve one of the most persistent but invisible problems, and dare I say ignored problems in energy, and that is inefficiency. Industrial facilities often lose large amounts of energy due to poor monitoring, undiagnosed grid anomalies, and reactive rather than proactive maintenance. And this drives up their costs and also increases their carbon emissions, making it harder for businesses in Africa to meet sustainability goals. That's the challenge 4in-A Technology is addressing. They identified a clear gap that industrial energy users lack intelligent systems that can monitor consumption in real time and offer actionable insights. Their opportunity lies in a smart AI-powered energy management platform. It works autonomously to analyze real-time grid data, to detect any inefficiencies, and even to diagnose the root causes of energy losses. With this system, clients have improved their energy efficiency by up to 30%, which is a major win for a company's bottom line and a major win for the environment. And then lastly, but definitely not least, I want us to look at an innovation that we probably are all familiar with. It combines energy access, inclusive finance, and environmental impact through something as simple as how people pay for energy. One of the biggest challenges to adopting clean, decentralized solar energy in African countries is the upfront cost. For many families, even if solar products make sense in terms of saving money in the long term, the initial investment is simply out of their reach. And so instead, they either rely on the expensive electricity from the grid or on other fuels like kerosene or paraffin which are expensive, which are polluting, and can be extremely dangerous. And so this is where the pay-as-you-go solar model comes in. The gap in these and more companies that they identified was financial. Most people cannot afford solar outright, but they can afford small, frequent payments, just like they pay for mobile data or for TV subscriptions and the likes. And so the opportunity here is a rent-to-own system where customers get a solar product such as lights, charging kits, energy hubs, even bigger energy hubs for small businesses, and they pay for it over time via fintech solutions or mobile money. The PayG technology tracks usage and payments in real time, meaning that once a customer has fully paid off, the customer owns the product outright. These solutions are being implemented all across Africa, Kenya, Mozambique, South Africa, and all of these models look different because these models have been tailored to the context that they're being applied in. And so beyond affordability, this model basically delivers major climate and social benefits. It cuts CO2, it reduces indoor pollution, it improves lighting for education, it boosts small and medium businesses, and it helps households with safety and savings. And the beauty of these models is that they're scalable, they're trackable, and they're self-sustaining. Some of these companies even monitor all their sales and payments via the cloud, making expansion seamless. And so this is a great example of how financing innovation can unlock technology adoption, especially in the clean energy space. It's not just about solar panels and wind turbines. It's about how we deliver energy to the people who need it the most. The energy revolution is not just happening in control centers or in trading centers or in labs or government offices. It's being driven by people like you and me. I've shown you some cool ideas, and I hope you are inspired, but perhaps you have the question of what exactly can I do? First of all, you need to master the continent. Keep abreast with what is happening, not just on a national or international level, but in your local communities. You need to understand how the people are using energy. How does energy flow? How do people interact with it? And how can we do better so that they can do better? The smartest solutions start with a deep understanding. Secondly, you need to think like an entrepreneur and solve for local problems. Innovation isn't always about inventing something big or something new. Oftentimes, it's about applying what already exists, but in a smarter and in a more local way. We need to solve real problems. We need to use local materials. We need to test our solutions quickly, and we need to scale sustainably. And critically, as Africans, I beg, protect your work, patent it, build sustainable business models that will let you grow and earn from your impact. The whole point is to also bring economic revolution for the continent. Next, collaboration is your power multiplier. The energy challenge cannot be solved by tech alone. You need policymakers to create enabling environments. You need financial institutions to back your ideas. You need academic institutions for research, and we also need our communities to guide us. And so do not think just because you're not an entrepreneur, you're stuck in an 8-to-5, you cannot be a person who thinks in an entrepreneurial way. That is not true. If you have the opportunity to influence policy, do it. If you have the opportunity to influence how financial institutions are backing ideas, do it. Don't build in a silo, build with the system. And finally, we have to be radically inclusive. Youth and women are not just beneficiaries, they're co-builders of this Africa that we want to see. We need to equip them with real skills, design thinking, manufacturing, grant writing, the confidence to lead, and everything in between. If we want sustainable solutions, we need to design for everyone and with everyone. And so I bring back this blank canvas, our blank canvas. We don't need to wait for anything. The problems are here on our continent, and so are the opportunities and solutions. This is our energy transformation. We need to lead it. We need to take charge of it. Thank you very much. I'm happy to have a conversation for anyone with comments, ideas, and maybe even questions.
My God. Wow. Please let me see some emote Tenele. Oh my God. Short, powerful,
Thank you.
impactful. My God. I have a whole page. My life just changed. I'm when you're asking about energy and you're trying to understand. I've seen this map before. I remember Barack Obama during his time was brought up this map, and seeing it here and understanding how you've put it together around identifying the challenges and looking at the gap and then uncovering the opportunity and ending with that action point of mastering your continents. And then when you're looking at that gap, you're thinking as an entrepreneur, you're collaborating with others in that local place, and then you're radically uncovering the opportunity with everybody, right? And I know that we've had a world where the youths and the women are not empowered to do that. So this is a time where everybody has to do it. So it's so good to just see that. Thank you, Tenele. Guys, if you have a question, just raise your hands. We're going to take a 10 minutes question. Tenele, thank you so much. We're going to take a 10 minutes question from anyone who has a question. I'm buzzing with a question in my mind, but I want to give the floor. I want to give everyone a opportunity to share your question. If you have a question, just raise up your hands. You can type it in the chats as well. We'll be waiting. But Tenele, before everybody comes, let me ask my question. I just love the fact that you broke down those real world application. And one of the vision in my mind that I've continued to, and I love that you started by telling us you want to share value and hoping that a strategy will bring about even vision as well. We see all this innovation across countries. There's one in Nigeria, Terra Industry. As soon as you mentioned them again, I just felt in my spirit, Tech for Good Africa has to reach out and partner. I wrote it down. If you can look at my note, we should partner. I wrote it down there, we should partner. So Terra Industry is going to be hearing from me, and they're my guys. I've met them a few times. So I need to write them down and be like, let's partner, even sponsor Tech for Good Africa. But we're seeing one in Uganda, another one in another country. There are all these innovations in various places. What's your thoughts on how, as Africans, we transfer these innovations across ourselves? And I know you mentioned patents and IP rights, and so it got me a bit like, okay, how do we transfer, for example, this 45 metric cubic ton of biolatrine, which I think could be unique in another place? How do we transfer that from this unique companies or community or social enterprise doing it there, transfer it to Nigeria and be able to still, I don't know, give them back some money? Or do you have any thoughts on how we can transfer innovation? And I think I'm trying to ask this question. It's a thing in my head. I'm working on it because I'm trying to understand how we can transfer this innovation across African countries and then together evaluate it as a continent. If you have any thoughts on it, I just wanted to hear.
Thank you for that, Samuel. First of all, I think as Africans, we need to get rid of the mentality of thinking that I will not pay for something developed in Africa. We need to get rid of that mentality because that's what's holding us back. There's so many fantastic ideas that have come out of Africa, but because they're not supported by Africans, they die. And so we need to support each other as Africans. We need to understand that the only way out of the darkness that we're in, into the light, is for us to band together and support each other. And support can be financial. Support can be sharing our stories. If you know of a good story that's happening in Nigeria and you know that there are people who can benefit from it in Eswatini, broadcast that and share that so that there's collaboration across the continent. I think there's so many policies that exist now that try to promote African collaboration. If you look at the Continental Free Trade Agreement, such things are basically trying to say, Africa, it's time for us to collaborate. But there are other instruments that need to be set up in order to support these policies and these agreements, such as travel. Some travel restrictions that African countries have between each other are not necessary. If we open that up, we have countries trading freely with each other and basically circulating the African economy within the continent. So these are just some of the things that we can do: collaboration, broadcasting, and ensuring that we are enabling the vision that we have.
Wow, Tenele, you're a light, and just want to tell you you're a light. So well done. I love how you mentioned that word, and I'm going to hold on to that word very strongly. About we need the instruments. Whenever you want to play the music of a place, you need the instrument. You need drums. You need the keyboard before the praise and worship is happening properly and the Spirit of God is coming down. Even David had to do it. So I just love the fact that you mentioned those instruments, and some of them were already seen with the travel access. We're seeing free trade agreements. But you know what? I also think that we here at the ecosystem of Tech for Good Africa, Echo Africa, African Technology Leadership Academy, we're building an instrument that can help us transfer that. Because the moment you can say this tech is for good, maybe we can get everyone to start, you know what, I'm deleting that word from my life. Maybe we would be able to check where it is. If we say tech for good and we're talking about energy, where's your energy tech for good happening in your country? Can you transfer it to us through our community? We want to give it to this place. And I just love that you left that with us, that we need to master our continent. So we want to go do more work in Tech for Good Africa. And as ambassadors, as you're listening, these are the reason we're here, so that Tenele can mentor many of us to master our continent effectively and transfer some of these innovations that she's already shown us as blueprint. Tenele, thank you so much. Guys, any more question before we jump to our next speakers? I'm buzzing with energy right now. Okay, Tenele, we have some feedback here. Great speech, wonderful presentation. Again, someone's already asking, can you share the resources? Guys, just so you know, this thing that is being played on here is also on YouTube. You can go on our channel and rewatch it again. So we don't want to stress Tenele with sending us presentation. There's no need for that. That's data we're transferring, and there's no need. You could go watch the whole video. And if you didn't write down, that's why you're asking for resources. Julius, as an ambassador, we don't take that. We're serious in here. You need to be writing down. I wrote everything down, right? Very insightful presentation. Ugochi is giving you claps. Temi Oluwa is mind blown. He's like, wow, I love this presentation. Very powerful. Please, we need resources. Watch it on YouTube. Thanks, Tenele. I'm coming up with ideas. How do we get data to validate such ideas and overcome bottlenecks to getting them? Okay, that's a question. Tenele, I think I'm coming up with ideas. How do we get data to validate such ideas and overcome bottlenecks to getting them? Over to you.
Honestly, I'm tempted to throw it back to Isaiah and to anyone else in the group. Data is gold these days. And if you don't have data, you're blind. I work in energy trading. And when I don't have data, I don't know how to trade, where to trade, who to trade with. But how do we overcome the bottlenecks of getting the data? I think this is where we need the innovation and the ideas coming up out of the Africans. In the energy space, definitely smart metering. We need smart meters. We need data analytics, instantaneous data analytics. So we don't want to be sitting for hours going through data, combing through data. We want the data to speak to us the moment we get it. But there's so many things on the grid. There's so many incidents that are happening on the grid, whether it's power outages, whether it's voltage fluctuations, we need that data coming in and being processed immediately. And that also then ties us to telecoms within Africa. What are we doing with our telecom space? In the energy space, you cannot divorce energy from telecoms because you need telecommunications in order to control the grid. So all of these things basically speaks to innovation that we need coming up from everywhere across the continent so that we are actually coming together to solve the problems that we have. But I don't know, Isaiah, what do you think? You're coming up with ideas is what you said. What ideas are you coming up with?
Look at me, muted. I can see
what I
someone
said
already.
was when coming up with ideas. So when the ideas come, we do not just want to build blindly. We want to ensure that, okay, this is actually a problem across the community. So, but we need to really understand the problem. And I feel that the data we get about that problem will help us to understand the scope and the extent of the problem. Then we'll be able to come up with innovations that can address that. So that was why I asked the question.
Thank you, Isaiah. Appreciate it. And for sure, Isaiah, you're a data scientist. As an ambassador in Tech for Good Africa now, I want to see you collecting those data. You're giving them to Tenele. She's helping us. We're all coming up to, again, it's all together we're going to do this. I really love the collaborative level of doing things in Africa. If you know me, I'm always looking for open source collaboration, not closed doors collaboration. You know, there's some collaboration without governments where they close the door and they're forming things that they bring it out to us and tell us that they're smart. No, they heard us, went in there, then came out and recycled what we said. No, open collaboration is what I want. Tenele, thank you so much. I can see someone's already giving updates here. Ugochi, again, you can read, one way to mitigate the bottleneck is getting data is involve policymakers. There are policies that ensure that there's needed data is not hoarded, then we are one step closer. Another way is to partner with companies working in those space to get data. Thank you so much. Amazing place. And one of the things I wanted to add on top of that, especially about data, and anybody that knows me knows that my passion is data. I'm so passionate about data. I want to see the whole of Africa's economy running on data. I mean, we shouldn't have GDP where a government is telling me how a country should be running anymore. In the world that I'm living, where I have my phone in my hands and my computer in front of me, I should be able to see the data of the whole nation on my phone. I should be able to know how to interact with various sectors based on data on my phone. So I want open source data as well. So one of the things I want to see in the world is that these policymakers, these companies that have data, allow that data to become open source. They can open that data to everyone, and based on the level that you're in every sector, you can access that data. I want to see open source data, and we're here to do more of that, and this is why we're here. Tenele, thank you so much. God bless you. Okay, guys.
Yeah.
All right, thank you. All right, we're going to jump to our next speaker. I'm so excited about, you know what, I'm buzzing for the first one already. I don't even know what's coming the second one. I'm already like, this is going to be power. Damilola Ashaleye. Right. Damilola is an accomplished renewable energy expert. Currently, she's pursuing her PhD in energy engineering. It's very hard to catch this lady. We actually had to call her as we're here now to say, where is she? She serves as the vice president of the Renewable Energy Association of Nigeria. I was watching a video about them yesterday and just seeing the great work that they're doing with the events around Landmark and the rest of it. She's also the founder and executive director of GWTEO and the Vital Voice Grow Fellow. That's a arrow on my path. Again, where it's striving for perfection. As a dedicated STEM ambassador, she inspires and guides young individuals towards science, technology, engineering, and math career through mentoring, tutoring, and presentations. She educates always communities on benefits of energy management, aiming to reduce Nigeria's dependency on fossil fuel through promoting energy management, climate change awareness, and renewable energy solutions. Madam Damilola, it is an honor to have you on Tech for Good Africa Leadership teaching all the ambassador today, and we're really looking forward to it. Is she on the call? Is she here? Lady Damilola, are you here? Fingers crossed she's here.
Yes, yes, I'm
Ah,
back
she's
here.
here.
I disconnected briefly, but yeah, I'm back. Good afternoon,
Okay.
everyone.
Okay. Hi, Ms. Damilola. So over to you. We're really excited. Over to you. Do you want to share your screen? Are you sharing something, or you just want to talk
No,
to
I
us?
don't have a presentation to share, but
Okay.
I'll just talk through my topic. I'll just engage the audience with my topic, and then I'll also have to turn off my video because of the bandwidth in my area. So
Okay.
I just want to show my face first, so that you see my face before we
You know,
start.
the unique thing about it today is that both of our speakers have low cut hair. It's and me,
Yeah.
moderator, I have a fro. It's so cool. All right, over to you, Ms. Damilola.
Yeah,
I love it. Love it. I
it
got my
makes
pen, so
life
don't
so
worry.
easy. Yeah. So our low cut makes our life so easy for us. At least for me, it makes life so easy for me right now. Okay, so let me just look at my email briefly. Um, Apologies, I don't have a presentation, but I believe I'm going to be impacting the audience, at least with my experience in the industry. So I'll be talking to us about solar solutions for Africa, and with reducing energy poverty with innovation. So before I go into the big innovation aspects and the solar solutions for Africa, I want to share a personal story first. And my story is a story of a young fresh graduate that had the dream to solve energy poverty based on several things that were happening in the community, in the industry, and in Nigeria at large. There was a lot of dependency on fossil fuel. There was always issues and strikes as regards to fossil fuel generator issues, and not talk about the epileptic power supply. And this was several years ago, like over 20 years ago. And despite the fact that this was several years ago, this problem still persists. This problem still persists. And over the years, I've been able to go into the industry and migrate from just being a solar installer, or my organization being just a solar installation company, to being a mini grid developer, to being a capacity building, and also being a capacity building, and also being a woman gender equality and women empowerment organization. And though at the very beginning, a lot of people, and several years ago, these kind of programs were not existent. There was no Zoom, there was no webinars, mentorship was very limited. And a lot of people believe that young persons should first go for maybe start with a day job, or a 9 to 5 job, or go and gather experience by themselves before they start to be innovators or entrepreneurs generally. But I saw that that wasn't meant for me. I knew that what I just wanted to be was to be an entrepreneur right from the beginning, and the kind of entrepreneur I wanted to be was to be solving energy poverty, because of the very big challenge that I saw. And then I also saw the opportunity at this particular period. A lot of people did not even understand what solar energy is. There were a lot of doubts about solar energy. There were a lot of doubts about renewable energy. You could rarely see solar panel on rooftops, not like we see right now. But that doesn't still stop myself and my partner, because it wasn't just me, it was with myself and my partner. That didn't just stop us from still daring to be big, or daring to do beyond the norms. And I'm saying this story because I understand that we have a whole lot of young individuals on this platform, and I want you to know that yes, a lot of people have done this. People like us didn't have the platform, or didn't have the opportunity to be engaged in this kind of platform at that time, but you have these opportunities now. You have the opportunities to mentorship. The world has become so global that you could be here in Nigeria, or you could be in Ghana, or you could be anywhere in the world, and you are engaging with people all around the world. You are collaborating with them. You are doing projects together. You are getting funds. You are getting investments from people that are not even close to you. You are getting even jobs. You are getting jobs. You are getting contracts. Virtually everything is possible for you right now. And not even talk about the world of AI. AI has also brought a new dimension into the energy sector and also into the opportunities that are available uh, to the youth. So when we talk about innovations in the solar sector, or before I go into the innovations, let me talk more about the problems first. I know all of us there, we should know what the problems are, but then I'll just reinstate some of the problems that we still have, despite the fact that around 18 years ago, 18 years to be precise, that was when my company was registered, though the dream was over 20 years, but we got registered 18 years ago. And so despite the fact that we saw that problem, this problem still persists. There's still fossil fuel dependency, like almost everybody still have generators. Industries are still being powered by generators. Hospitals are running more than 60% of their revenue on generator operations, which drives down the ability for them to be able to equip their hospitals, even pay staffs. And this is not only applicable to just hospitals, it is applicable to a lot of business owners. A lot of business owners are not able to break even because their cost of their operational cost, mainly because of electricity, is still very, very high. These are just few examples, not to talk of that young person that is in a village that is aspiring to be big, that is aspiring to be the president of the world, or the president of United Nations, the president of Nigeria, having so many big dreams, but could not even read his or her book because of lack of access to energy. These are just very, very few of the kind of problems that, the kind of energy poverty that we are being faced in Africa, not Nigeria alone. In Africa, about 600 million people are still in energy poverty. They're still in darkness. They can't access just ordinary lighting. Like, that is the most basic. The most basic is having lightings and being able to access some mini appliances like radios and maybe radios and lamps and yeah, touch lights, things like that. Those are like the basic things that it is even required for us to have energy access. And more than 600 million people are do still do not have access to this minimum that is required. And this shows that we still need to drive harder than we are doing right now. 18 years ago, when Ashton Solar started, the problem was there, and the problem still persists. And the problem is not going away except we start acting as Africans and start solving these problems by ourselves. This problem will not go away by us not being innovative. This problem will not go away by us playing safe, because I see a lot of us playing safe. So these problems will not go away by us playing safe. These problems will not go away if we do not dare to go to think outside the box and to go beyond our self-imposed limits. So these problems will not go away with that. And so when we talk about innovations, there has been so many innovations in the energy sector, and there is still a lot of opportunities for several innovations in the energy sector. We all understand, I believe we should all understand by now, that decentralized system is going to be
I just want to confirm that it's not just me. Did we
Yeah,
lose
I
Lady
think
Demo?
we did.
Okay,
I think we did.
let's just give her a moment. Um, let's just give her a moment. Okay, while we're waiting for her, and she did tell us that this will happen with her internet. Um,
Hello, sorry, where did you lose me? I got disconnected.
you were speaking about the decentralized systems. I think that's the last thing I heard.
Oh, okay, okay. So I hope it just flow again because I was just speaking out of my out of hand with no templates. Okay, so decentralized system is definitely a major solution to Africa's problem right now. And it will always be, at least for a very, very long time. I don't know, maybe you heard about the story of the instance of our own, one of our mini grids that is in a coastal region. I didn't know, maybe you get up to that, maybe you head up to that. Did you? Okay, so looking at that our mini grid, that it is not easily accessible by national grid. I'm not saying there's no possible technology to access it, but with the current situation in Nigeria and with the very, very big energy gap and transmission gap that we have in Nigeria, it will take several years. It might not be in our lifetime that the national grid will get there, but having a decentralized solution makes the people in that community to be able to have access to energy and then access to affordable energy, not just energy alone, but affordable energy. Because that's for the fact that they are sitting on the oil well of Nigeria, but energy is still very, very expensive for them. Even the diesel and fossil fuel that is being harvested in those regions is being sold at more higher rate to those regions than what we are even buying in the city. And this is just an example. Even looking at communities that are even on ground, like that are still within, not on the sea, but on dry ground, but they are in the last mile communities. A lot of these communities, they don't have access to petrol stations, and for them to operate, they have to travel several miles out of their community to be able to buy fossil fuel that they will now use to power their generators. And that is even if they have enough money to do that. So decentralized solution solves that problem. And now when we say decentralized solutions for last mile communities, part of the innovations we should now be thinking of is we shouldn't rely just on the energy generation, just on the electricity aspect. Because where we don't have economic being powered, where we are just powering electricity alone, there is a very, very high probability and high tendency of not being able to get revenue for sustainability from such projects. Now, when we talk about project, we always need to think about the sustainability of it. And when it comes to sustainability of it, we have to think about the revenue generation. It is very, very important for us to have revenue generation and sustainable revenue generation, despite the fact that there are some opportunities for subsidies, for grants, but we should think beyond the grant. We should think beyond the subsidies. We need to think about revenue generation. And when you're thinking about revenue generation, you should be innovative about it. What are the problems, or what are the other things that are in that community that you can now use to generate revenue for that community, so that they are not just buying electricity because they need light or because they want to start to have entertainment, but you are powering their economy. And that brings us to what we call productive use of energy. when we go to communities, we need to look at how we can invite productive use of energy. The kind of communities we have in Nigeria, let's say last mile communities, a lot of them are into agriculture. Some of them are into cocoa farming. Some of them are into gari harvesting. Some of them are into rice milling. So we need to look at the kind of economic activities that they have in that community, and then we'll power it up. Provide solutions that will be able to generate income for those communities. And that now brings renewable energy developers from being a normal renewable energy installation company to what we now call the renewable energy service company. As a renewable energy service company, that company is going to be an innovator, because you are going to be solving the energy poverty through the lens of so many things. You're going to be solving the energy poverty as you being the financiers, because you need to finance the equipment of the productive use of energy, by you being like the bank, because now you need to bring in mobile money for you to be able to recover payment from your investment, from you being an operations and maintenance organization, because then you need to operate and maintain the installation that you've done at this location, and then from you being an EPC. So as a renewable energy service company, which is called RESCO, you are like an overall, you are the investor, you are the implementer, you are everything in those communities. And with that, you are able to provide better services, you are able to bring more affordable solutions. And that means you also have to start to be the one that is going to be looking for investors. You need to get investors, you need to be able to pitch rightly to investors, you need to be able to grow also with the community. So that is another thing. And then renewable energy also brings job creation, like a lot of job creation. And I'm saying this from the perspective of looking at a lot of the mini grids, some of the mini grids that we have implemented, not to talk of this standalone solar systems that we do. But for our mini grids, when we go to communities, we have to be innovative about engaging the community, because we need them to have a very, very good buy-in in our projects. When we do last mile communities, we need community buy-in, because a lot of us, we are here in the city, we are not physically in the communities, and we need these communities to own the system. So we need to come up with innovative ideas on how to engage the communities, to ensure that the communities, they are there right from the installation, or right from the community engagement, like while we are engaging them right from the start, that, oh, we want to do this project in this particular, in your community, these are the things that we need to do, these are the things we are going to be bringing in, these are the kind of terms and conditions we are going to be bringing in, this is the number of years we want to sign with this community. We need to start engaging them right from that point. And from that point also, we need to also ensure that we are bringing in the youth and women of the communities. Youth and women of the community is very, very important. We've seen that in many communities, they would rather have the old men talk to us, but then we have to be able to engage them to ensure that the youth and women of this community are involved, because at the end of the day, women especially, we are the ones that are the receiving end of energy poverty, the highest receiving end of energy poverty. We are the one that needs to go into the wood and bring in firewood, and on the way, our children, our girls are being raped, even the women are being raped. They have to go several miles, and some may not even be able to talk about this. And then we women are also the one that at the end of the day will be the one to still use this wood to cook. We still be the one to use the wood to make fire so that they can see light in the night. We are still the one that will be inhaling a lot of smoke and having different kind of diseases because of the exposure to the smoke. So women needs to be engaged, and then the youth needs to be engaged, because the youth is the future of the community. If the youth are not there, why is the sustainability of this community? So when we are bringing solutions, we need to be innovative about how are we going to be bringing in the women, how are we going to be bringing in the youth into the conversations right from the onset of discussions, right from the negotiation stage. These are very, very important things that needs to be done when we are engaging communities and bringing solutions into the communities. Solar is not just about having maybe kilowatts, electricity, and all of that. Is about bringing opportunities to the communities. It's about bringing productivity, and it's about the future of everyone, from everyone in the communities to the states to the nation. That is what solar energy or renewable energy is about. And renewable energy is a game changer. There are so many innovations right now. They are building integrated PV systems. There are PV systems that are now like rooftops. There are so many innovations from pay-as-you-go systems to smart meters. With smart meters, right where I am, I can see who is committing energy theft in our site. I can turn off electricity. I can turn on electricity. We can power up a particular line. We can power on a particular line, another line. And these are some things that are not properly maintained on our grid. And on our national grid, we don't really have grid modernization in our national grid right now. But with our decentralized systems, renewable energy could have their own grid modernization based on the kind of investment that is being put in for the communities that developers or rescos are working on. And before I don't know how long have I spoken, because I'm just talking without even checking time.
You literally, you are 1 minute more than your time. But again, you can wrap up at this time. Yes.
Okay, so let me just wrap up by saying that the future belongs to us. We need to innovate. We need to think beyond products and services. We need to think about the true solutions. We need to think about the values that we are bringing to Africa. How can we bring more value? How can we just go beyond just powering lighting points and really supporting the economy and supporting, ensuring that Africa is going the right way we want it to go. Okay, so over to you.
Wow. Oh, oh God. So I was doing a little bit of writing down from what I've heard from Tinele to what I'm hearing from Lady Damalola, and I coined something that we should go away today with. When Tinele spoke, she spoke about the identifying the challenge and then looking at the gap and then finding opportunities. I wrote that as I go. You know, I'm a man of acronym, if you know me by now. I go, and then as I was listening to Lady Damalola, I just kept hearing inclusion, and I was just like, in my mind, I made up my mind at this moment, because guys, even as we're here and I'm trying to, we're working on, you know, recruiting and sensitizing you guys as ambassadors. I also am becoming an ambassador as well, and so I go inclusive when it comes to energy. It literally, I just did that in my brain as I listened to both of them, that I go inclusive about energy. It looks like the energy issue, when we're talking about it in Africa, is that we need to become, you know, Lady Damalola started by saying we have to have this, it has to be a everybody come together. It has to be a together thing. It cannot be separated. And even though she told us some of the issues that exist with the mini grids and the national grid, and how the integration needs to happen, there are technologies to do it, but it's not happening. How can we get those mini grids to then become more system owned by the people there? Powerful sessions today. But I'm going away, and I'm telling you guys, I go inclusive when it comes to energy. Even when I'm shaping my innovations around it now, because I started thinking of many innovations around engaging the community. How can we engage them? How can we get the women and the youth involved, and value? So I go inclusive about value. I'm going to ask one question to Lady Damalola, but is there anybody that has any question before I give my question? You know, I have questions always. Anybody has a question? Thank you guys for the claps, all of this. For Lady Damalola, well done, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. It is a collaborative effort. There we go. Ugochi is on point. Tech for GA, go inclusive. Yes, for energy, we go inclusive. We don't know what they will tell us in data. We don't know what they will tell us in design. But we know for sure that for energy, and you know, the funny thing is that even your energy internally, if your energy is not inclusive, you'll be giving people negative energy. You must think inclusive in even the energy that comes from you, so that you don't be giving people wrong signal. Before you know, your energy turns to darkness instead of it to be a light. You start becoming a darkness. My God, let me not preach. I would like to ask a question. What weather or maintenance hurdle do solar installation face in Africa's climate, and what salience or tech make them more resilient? Lady Damilola, I don't know if you can answer this question. The question is,
Okay,
what maintenance hurdle do solar install face in Africa's climate, and what salience or tech make them more resilient?
okay, so Africa's climate. So we all know that Africa's climate is hot, though in energy, being hot is not what generates the electricity, but it's in line with one of the advantage of Africa, not the hotness now, but the irradiance. So we have very, very long hours um of energy, and averagely data adds that a lot of African countries have over 3,000 hours per year of solar irradiance. So that is an advantage, but then the disadvantage is now the temperature. So higher temperature affects the voltages of solar panels, which reduces the efficiency of solar panel. But innovation solves this. A lot of panels have opportunity to, or have the ability to operate at high temperature, very high temperature. So I would say when you are procuring equipment, you need to check the information of that equipment. Is it able to work in the climate that you want it to work? And also look at ways to make it better. Example is, apart from the solar panels, we also have other equipment such as batteries and inverters. And when installing all this kind of equipment, I would say we need to look at the maintenance aspect, and we need to look at the skills that are required to install this equipment. Hence, let's say the batteries and inverters, as professionals, which we should all be, we should know that our batteries and inverters should not be installed in an airtight environment. So in that instance, the maintenance order or the operations order, now not even just the maintenance order, is that if we go ahead and install in an airtight environment, then there could lead to a lot of the issues, just like fire and all of that, which the solution to that is now for us to build our capacity. So whatever or whichever area we want to focus on in the energy sector, do you want to be the entrepreneur, or you want to be the installer, or you want to be the designer, you need to first build your capacity very, very well. Ensure that you have the right skill set to be able to deploy these solutions. Yes, there will be problems, there will be orders, but these orders also have solutions to them. And you need to be able to build your skills to be able to know the right kind of solutions to the orders.
Thank you so much. I do have a question, and Eddie DeYoung, I will come to you in a minute after I ask my question. Aramide says we need to be bold and embrace change, and I love that as an energy. As I was speaking about energy, she said that. I just thought the type of energy we should have inclusively in us is to be bold and embrace the change that's coming. Many of us are very stifled to embracing change. This is what I already know. We must embrace new change. That's life. Okay, Lady Damilola, this is my question. I have two questions in one. I might shake a little bit of table with my question as well. So a lot of oil and gas companies call themselves energy companies, and I know you are aiming to reduce Nigeria's dependency on fossil fuel, is there a difference between oil and gas and an energy company? Is there a difference, and what is the difference? Now, my second question, I'm putting two questions in one. My second question is, with the microgrids, and I love the fact of mini grids, what type of technology, because you mentioned that the technology exists, what type of technology can we use or innovation can we use to make mini grids become more the go-to in Africa? Because when I first got to Africa, it was one of the first thing in my mind that why don't we turn all those, if you're entering estates in Lagos, you will see there's a house in front of the gates. They call it the house for the security guard. Why did I turn that into a data center where I manage the data of the grid of the estates to distribute energy across people? There are some people that have solar energy on their house, some don't. Those people that even have solar, some of them are not home at all times. We could, that person in that room can say, okay, this person has not been here for 2 weeks, but their battery has this amount of energy. We're bidding it out for 20,000 naira. Who is willing to buy it? This is me coming up with innovative ideas, because if you know me, that's what I do in my life. Innovative things to make Africa better, and a listening ear to hear the solution, the opportunities. So my two questions is, one, that. The second is, what type of technology do you see can help this mini grid to become the go-to in African locations for farmers and the rest of the, again, there's money to be made from it. You can hear I'm already coming up with some of the money-making part of it. But
Okay, so can you please repeat the first question so I can just answer directly to it?
Okay, so the first question is, what's oil and gas? They keep calling themselves energy companies.
Okay, so let me answer that first.
Difference? Is there a difference? Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, okay. So, I would say yes, the oil and gas, they are energy company, but they are not renewable energy company. So there is renewable energy, and then there is energy, because yes, they are generating energy, but the kind of energy that they're generating is not clean. That is the major difference. They are not generating clean energy. And sorry, please, my laptop is about to go down. I need to plug it in.
Please take your time.
Okay, so they are not generating clean energy, and that is why organizations like ours, we just don't call ourselves energy company. Renewable energy, like when I mentioned RESCOs, I mentioned renewable energy service companies. Like we have the DISCOs, like DISCOs are the distribution companies. We have so we have the telcos. The telcos are the telecommunications. The DISCOs are the distribution networks, like the IKEDC, IBEDC, and the likes. Those are the DISCOs. But then we have the RESCOs, which are now the renewable energy service companies. But some of these oil and gas companies are already trying to diversify into renewable energy. They're already trying to diversify into renewable energy. I know Total is diversifying into renewable energy. Ohandre is diversifying into renewable energy. Even Shell has a lot of investment in renewable energies right now, like a lot of investment in renewable energy. So they are all seeing the green light or the red light, as it may be, and they are diversifying into all of this. So yes, they are energy companies, because yes, they're generating energy, but they are not just clean energy companies. Now,
they're dirty energy companies. Just
in quotes, yeah, in quotes. So now to your second questions about the innovations that we can have in Africa. You already mentioned a very, very good aspect of it, subtly, which is energy sharing. Like now you see a lot of you see a lot of buildings with solar panels. Some of them they may not be in the house, and another but a neighbor may be working from home. So someone that is not in the house in the afternoon and has excess energy could sell energy to the neighbor. That is an innovation that we should be looking at. And I'm happy that there is the federal government is looking at what we call net billing right now, net metering, whereby they are looking at renewable energy companies that have solar systems or PV systems of up to 50 kilowatt peak installed, being able to sell electricity to the national grid. But with that comes with a lot of challenges that they still need to solve, like the grid modernization, a lot of issues that needs to be resolved. Yes, it's a very, very good and welcome thing for Nigeria. That is what we've been clamoring for. But then we also the federal government we still need to look at so many other things, like the kind of standards that are being implemented when all these equipment are being installed, the kind of installers, the kind of certifications and licensing they have, and all those things need to be put in place. And then the grid modernization also is very, very important, because right now we still have a lot of grid collapse, national grid collapse, and all of that. And these are the kind of innovation, these are the kind of things that we should be looking at how to innovatively solve. Because yes, we could sell energy. Well, maybe we can also look at it as doing it in silos, from estates, from individuals being able to share their energies, which some of these are also already in existence. Like there's what we call mesh grids. So there's mini grid, there's microgrid, and then there's mesh grid. With a mesh grid system, you can share energy with your neighbor. Mesh grids are currently being installed in last mile communities that are like, when you go to some communities, you see that they are dispersed. And then you also see some communities that are very, like, there are some of them very close together. And then after maybe like 5 buildings together, and then the next building to that is like 20 kilometers away. There are communities like that. So in those kind of communities, small mesh grids, which are small systems, and the community people are going to be sharing, like the 5 people in that community, the 5 buildings in the community are sharing their electricity.
Wow.
It is actually existing right now
Wow.
in Nigeria and in other parts of Africa. So there is the mesh grid, and it is existing, and it could be improved on with so many technologies that are out there, with Internet of Things, with AI. All of these we can think outside the box, and become more innovative in our ideas and in our solutions.
My God, I'm so inspired with so much faith. It's if you know what is happening in my heart and in my mind at the moment, guys, you will be fascinated of where I'm going. I'm so inspired. It's as if I've been sleeping with what is inside of me. My God. Hey, oh my God. Lady Damlola, thank you so much. Literally, I even see the technology coming to life. And guys, many of you will say, I don't have startup ideas in my mind. I don't know what I should be doing now. I don't know which one I should start. I'm worried about if I. These are ideas. Like, you're even hearing the government is already bringing ability. So if you did not start your solar company before, they are saying now that if you have sold solar company up to 50 kilowatt, now you have the access to sell to the national grid. There's also opportunity to modernize the grid. I know Siemens collected that contract, but you can subcontract if you make startups like that. Technology for good. You need to start thinking about ideas like that. These ideas are going to be the future of the world. I can see somebody already mentioning Dangote, and Temi was like, so what should we do about him? Because he's not helping us. And it's true. They have to be new ways, and when we come inclusive, and we will shift dirty energy out of our continent, and then we can now become a standardization for the world. Because if the world sees a continent doing clean energy, who can talk again? Oh my God, Lady Damlola, powerful. I know Edidi Young, you had your hands up. Do you want to ask your question now? Edidi Young, Willie, please go ahead and ask your question.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for the opportunity. My name is Edidiong Emmanuel Willie. I'm the founder of Legendville Energy, and I'm pretty glad I didn't miss Darwin Lola's session, because I really resonated with everything she shared, especially about the need to set up ecosystems in these communities. It's not just about electricity there. I had the opportunity of visiting the mine at Nasarawa State. We went so deep into the state, got to the point of seeing people living in thatch houses, mud houses, places way beyond civilization. And it had me wondering, if we brought electricity into this environment, what would they use it for? How would we convince them that they need to pay for it? All right. So my question now is, how can we get more people involved? Because it's not just about supplying electricity, as you mentioned. How can we get more people involved? You see a situation where graduates from university, when they're graduating from school, what they have in mind, they want to join one oil company or the other. I'm not necessarily against what is it called? Um, Oil companies, because for us to fully develop our renewable energy here, we need to first transition to the point where we are using both renewable and non-renewable, and then we can now fully transition from there to renewable. So it's a process we are going through. So many people graduate from school and they don't have nothing comes to their mind about, oh, I would like to work in a renewable energy company, or I can't wait to finish studying electrical engineering and work in solar company. Everybody's mind is thinking, oh, I want to finish and work in Shell. I want to finish and work in Total. I want to finish and work in NNPC. What can we do that can get more people involved beyond the government? That is the youths coming up. What can be done? A lot of their mind be oriented to focus on, when I'm done with school, I would love to develop something around maybe a cleaner source, even if it's non-renewables, but a cleaner source of energy like LPG or CNG or something much cleaner than what is going on now, and other sources like solar as well. What can be done to get more people on board?
Good question. Lady Damlola, you're muted if you're saying something.
Yeah, so I got disconnected at a point, so I'm not sure I got the full question.
Okay.
But let me just answer to what I feel he was asking. So now, to get more young people involved in the renewable energy sector, I believe we need to start working on their mindsets, and we need to start having more of this kind of programs whereby we are bringing in young people onto the table. And it really starts with the mindset. Like I said earlier, I gave the story that my organization started right from immediately I was out of the university. It wasn't as if I didn't even have any money. There was no money. It was just a referral, a job referral that prompted us to be able to, we already have the idea of having a company. We're already showcasing potentials, doing university projects around renewable energy and solar energy. And that brought a referral of a major job. Well, not a major job, it was just a 500 watts solar system installed, less than 1 kilowatt peak. And from there, I was able to register my company. From there, we had to import. At that time, we had to import those panels, 50 watt panel, 10 pieces. We couldn't buy them in Nigeria in 2007. We imported them. We imported energy saving bulbs. The battery and inverter was bought locally. And it was a mindset. It was a mindset of, yes, I want to solve energy poverty. And it was a mindset of, yes, I want to be an entrepreneur. I'm not saying it is wrong for you to be an entrepreneur. A lot of us have different skills and different dreams. But then, even as an entrepreneur, like if you want to be an entrepreneur, you could also be innovative about it, not just a bench warmer in organizations that will be working in. We can be innovative entrepreneurs, and it comes with changing the mindset of our youth, bringing our youth to the table, engaging them with talk like this, ensuring that there's access to mentorship. It doesn't have to be with finance. That is my own belief. From the beginning, it doesn't have to be with finance, because if there's money being thrown without proper pilots, without proper management, then mismanagement comes in. So to me, it doesn't come with the money first. It comes with the interest of our youth, and our youth even using the available resources, using it to start where they want to start. So it comes with the mindset for me. And I always say something that all the resources we need, that youth need to start to grow, are readily available. They are readily available. Internet is there to guide. Even ChatGPT is there to guide you with ideas. And our friends, our networks, the world is global now. The network is large. If you really sit down and you know that you want something, you look at your network, I'll tell you there's someone that knows someone that could help you to get that resource. So it comes with first with the mindset of the youth and trying to change with mindset of the youth.
Wow, Lady Damilola, you're just you're a powerhouse, from the mindset to showcasing the opportunity. It's just powerful. And I was reading in the chat as well, someone was saying we should add it into the curriculum for all engineering students or university with the government. That was just powerful things coming out of this session. I can see a hand up. Olamide, please go ahead.
Good evening, and thank you so much for that session, my sister and friend. It's always a joy to hear you speak. So my question really is on the production of these panels. How much of production are we doing in Nigeria?
Okay, thank you so much, Lamdi, and thanks for the invite also. Thanks for reaching out for this session. So right now, there are about 4 organizations that are actually assembling solar panels in Nigeria. Some are fully functional and some are just upcoming. In total, I was just at a conference where these 4 organizations, the 3 were able to attend, and they gave the numbers that in total they are actually able to manufacture about 700 megawatts of solar panels in a year in combination, whereas the data available, which I am 100% sure that data is not correct, is that about 1.3 or 1.4 megawatts of solar panels were are being imported yearly in Nigeria. But I would say that data as in Nigeria, we are not that good with data. We are still trying to improve the data of the industry. But as it is, the manufacturers is about 700 in combination. There is one that is generating, that could produce 100 megawatts. That is Oxano. Then there is LPV that could produce up to 250 megawatts, but their current production is around 100 megawatts, but they could scale to 250. That one is LPV, and there are some others also, the other 2. So yes, we can generate or produce about 700, not generate, but produce about 700 megawatts right now in Nigeria. And this has been piloted and it's effective with 2 organizations already operating. There's Tranos, yes. Tranos just did their groundbreaking like 2-3 months ago. They've not really started operations, and these are local companies. Like Oxano is a very good friend of mine. He's a local company. He started from Alaba and to Lekki. So there are people that we know. They are not strangers to us, and this also shows that we can do it. If Oxano tell you his story, you see that his story was not an easy story. His story was the story of a passion, because it wasn't easy. He hasn't even broken even yet, even up to now. And he had to do certification. That the certification cost a lot of millions of naira, like 80 million naira thereabouts, which is not money that could be easily be gotten. Though he was able to get some support to be able to do that, but it shows us the possibilities. It shows us the possibilities. And his story is a very, very inspiring one, because if it was just sitting for, yes, I want to start to make big money, it wouldn't be able to be the first because it's the first in Nigeria. It wouldn't be able to be the first, which opens doors to 3 more others right now. And it's still trying to break even, but yes, now he's having some support that is required, but he still doesn't have enough support yet.
Wow.
Because I will tell you, it is not easy. All what I've been saying, don't let us think they are easy. It's not easy to do anything, but being consistent, not rushing to think, oh, I want to be the Dangote today. It takes years, it takes investment, it takes sweat, it takes falling and rising. It takes a lot of no's. It takes a lot of headaches, I'll tell you, like serious headaches. But we have to be our own solutions in Africa. And we have to be innovative about it. We have to put in the sweat that we need to build our nation and to build ourselves. But yes, at the end of the day, you also get the revenue, you also get some money along the way, but money is not the first one. You won't get the money for several months. Let me say months now, because yes, with what is going on around the world now, it's easier for you to have access to some things.
If we ended this session here, I will go away with so much faith. One of the words I would take from Lady Damilola as she spoke now was passion. If you don't do it with passion, there's no need for doing it. If you are a Christian, you will know the movie Passion of the Christ. It's not, you cannot do, if you continue to do it, I love how Tenele said it in the chat, we must move away from this microwave results mentality. Let me just and chop it and go. We must take time to shape something, to mold something. We must not, my God. And you know why? Because every time I think of Africa, I think of the children of Israel. You know, their whole story is the story of the old Bible. It's a fascinating thing. And you as a person, as an African, you must think of this development we must do from a place of not even just yourself. The next generation has to have an understanding that you put in effort. Me, I'm not joking. I don't want any of the next generation to be pointing fingers at me at the way that they're pointing it as our elders now. It should be people who could have done it. This is on the policy. I even do it to my daddy. I'll be like, you worked in the oil company. How come people did not think of green energy? He will be telling me, we went to conference. You went to conference? What about the change? Why didn't you start solar company? I would have been benefiting now. Oh, my God. They were hearing it, they were doing nothing. So you cannot be that person that is hearing it and still being stubborn. God damn. Start that company. Start that building. You know, there's companies in Turkey now that go and learn from there. 1 year, come back. Start that solar company. It will be painful, but I promise you, we are on the verge of something from Africa. Something about sustainability. Lady Damilola, thank you so much. That was powerful. Thank you so much. You know, and now we're moving to our next speaker. Lady Damilola, God bless you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone, and have a good evening.
Have a good day. God bless you. Right, and we're coming to our next person, the person that just asked the question. A person that is not only a energy expert, but also my wife. Glory to God for her. She's an award-winning global leader in energy, driving systematic change. And trust me, if you know me, you'll know that I fight her all the time for wanting to still be in dirty energy. If she's being honest with herself, she'll tell you people the truth. I don't take it. I tell her, see, if you don't change, me and you will cut off. I don't do anything that is not sustainable or clean. Yes, we will take pain, but that is the life we must live, so that we tell our children that's what we did. But she's growing across emerging market with a decade experience in field engineering. Wait, what am I doing? ESG innovation and digital equity. Some of these things that her husband has helped her do. She has led high impact initiative across 5 countries. She's currently a champion tech enabled operational excellence as lead for business performance and KPIs venture assets at NNPC, Africa's largest oil and gas company. Now you know why I asked that question, guys. Don't play with me. I don't used to hide open source. She advocates for just energy transition. She is a future energy leader at the World Energy Council and co-founder Storytellers NG, a children brand. She redefines leadership at the intersection of technology, inclusion, and global impact. Guys, put your hands together, give emojis and all of that. She's looking gorgeous. It's all my money. Don't play. Over to you, Olamide.
Thank you so much. It's truly my honor. And interestingly, my device is a bit low on power, so I've been trying to nudge you. So it will give me just a few minutes to speak, barely like 2 or 3, and then I'll have to pass it back to you. So I'm trying to switch where I'm at. However, the first thing I want to ask here is if anyone knows the first time that electricity was powered up in your country. So if you're on here and you know, and the president had asked us this question last week, I believe, and he was saying, when was the first time that there was electricity in Africa? Does anyone know? 1959 in Nigeria, Timmy, or in Africa? No idea. I didn't have an idea as well as of last week, so I had to look it up. And data says the first place that was actually powered up was Nigeria, Freetown Road in Lagos in 1896. Wow, Temilolua, happy guess. Okay. But then the second line of thought that stems from that for me was how we have 129 years that has gone by between then and now. And interestingly, just like the president was saying before I came on, I want to leave with us 3 cogent things. One is the fact that a generation will come that will remember our names, not as individuals, but they'll remember us as a commonwealth, as a collective, as a people that actually did tech for good. And as you've heard the phenomenal session from Tenele, from Dami, who has really gotten her hands dirty. And it's possible to leave this session and then start to wonder to yourself, what can I do with this? My charge to you would be first to adopt that hybrid mindset. And I'm speaking to myself, even as I'm saying this, because like my husband has said, for the longest time, I've had the tussle between oil money versus the other energy funds. There are some murky waters in there. But then the difference really is then the thinking around how do we see it? So Nigeria today has less than 5,000 megawatts of reliable power capacity. That means that 1 in every 3 person actually is not electrified in Nigeria. That also means that even those who experience electrification, 100% electrification is still a far reality to us. And that's the same for Africa. So as you're leaving today, first I would want you to go on with a hybrid mindset. One that, if I'm being honest, I'm still at baby percent level as to fully embodying it that, okay, yes, we can leave oil and gas completely. Second will be to think around innovation. And we mentioned, and Tenele showed us that map earlier. And I was just thinking, how about we geomap where the darkness is, such that when someone wants to build the next solar energy solution for instance, or another solution that is clean, they know exactly where to situate it to, and then map the problem with the solution. We also need innovation in financing models. So if we're thinking Africa, even though we contribute barely 3% to the global GHG emissions, we actually also get barely 3% in financing. Recently, my husband has launched this 100 billion naira fund for us to actually raise funds in naira in Africa, because until Africa starts to fund Africa, then we don't determine what the outcomes are. So the third is implementation. Collaboration is probably a bloodline today, which are some of the biggest things I've learned from Tech for Good Africa myself. Collaboration, collaboration, and collaboration. So as we move on, even from today's session, the hybrid mindset, the innovative mind, the implementations we must start to do. The next question is, why then do it for good? And when you come on board, this is my open call for you really, to join us in Tech for Good Africa, to join especially the energy thematic area. And then we can start to work around things bordering on entrepreneurship. Some people are scared to start. Some people don't know how to start. Some people are unsure how to start. And then we're open, and this is something we're also going to co-design, how we're going to actually build that from the ground up. Someone within Tech for Good Africa can say, you know what, I want to go into energy entrepreneurship. Dami has been gracious. She has sent me a document that details about 25 checklists of things to do, your tax, clearances, everything you need to get ready for funding, everything you need to get ready to actually verbatim start an entrepreneurship journey. The second thing also around why and how we will be doing it for good as the energy collective in Tech for Good Africa will then be around policy. So imagine a policy document that we've all come together, that we've built, that
Taking it, that phone died. Okay. Uh-oh. Right. Guys, you can already see the power. It is well. Yes, I love that, Temi Olua. It is well. As you know, we have thematic areas in Tech for Good Africa. I'm going to run through that at this moment. And fingers crossed, you would hear from Olamide at another time. You are enjoying our yes, you already know. So you'll be hearing more from her if you want to join the energy thematic area. There's also many more thematic areas. In that thematic area, you see people like Tenele there. You see people like Lady Damilola in that thematic area. There's a reason we're shaping a structure like this. Trust me, I do this for a reason. I'm not playing with the development of Africa. We must change the economy of Africa. So anyway, let me not go too far. Let me run through, because we've run out of time. Literally, I was going to run us through this session. Maybe we should do it ASAP. So if you're with your phone, please just scan the QR code. I know Temi, do you want to just run through this ASAP? Let's collect some data from some people. Let's collect some data from you guys.
Yes.
Guys, please give us 10 minutes. Okay, Temi, over to you.
All right. Thank you very much, our speakers. Thank you, our participants, for joining this call. Honestly, I'm so buzzed with energy right now. I know we are talking about energy. The fire inside of me is boiling. I just want to see your emojis applauding our speakers. They have done so much. They've done so much. Let's see your emojis in the comments. Your applause emoji. You know, it's been good so far. So this session is the interactive data collection. And at Tech for Good Africa, we believe that every voice matters. You know, we believe in the power of community moving together. And I'm so happy that our leaders, our speakers also insinuated community. And, you know, I heard Ms. Tenele talking about the village boy and the village girl having access to clean energy, you know, not just for the city guys. And, you know, Mrs. Damilola telling us we need to come together. So it's very important. And that is why we are doing this session. So If you've never used this before, it's fine. It's simple to use. So just go to menti.com, menti.com, then you put the code. So it's going to show some prompts like the one that is currently displayed on the screen. Go to menti.com and then you put the code. Now, the reason why we need this feedback is for us to grow better as a community. We need to see what you are saying. We need to do what you are doing. We need to feel what you are feeling. So if you are on the site already, I want you to pin your location. It's very easy. Menti.com. Use the code 75829807. Pin your where you're joining us from. Once you're done, I want you to comment done on the group so we can move to the next prompt.
Yeah, I'm only seeing 5 people. See, we're seeing you here. There's only 6 people that have joined in. We have 18 people on this call.
Oh,
Let's
let's
do it
do it.
quickly.
Oh, beautiful.
Thank you,
Beautiful,
Mary Jane.
Mildred. Awa, thank you. Beautiful. We need to see more done.
This is the real-time analysis Tenele mentioned. We can have real-time analysis like this on electricity.
Good evening, ma'am. Come on, guys. Let's hurry up.
Okay, out of 12 people, we only have 4 people that have pinned their location. Guys, you might have to move to the next one. There's no time because I want to just rush through. Guys, all you have to do is just touch where you are.
Like I'm having issue on touching it. Like I can't touch it.
Oh, just pin it. Just touch. You just have to touch the location where you are on the screen. Ugochi, you're having issues finding your location. Where are you? Are you in heaven?
Like the same thing. The same thing with me. I'm unable to even zoom in.
Oh, you can't zoom in. Oh, don't zoom in. Just touch it. It's okay to just touch it wherever you
But
are.
I'm not seeing the location. Like it's just showing the country, and I'm not even seeing the Nigeria clearly.
It don't matter. Just touch it. Don't worry. You don't have to see the
Okay.
Nigeria. Just touch it that you are there.
Okay.
Okay. I think we might have to move to the next question. We have 8 people, so that's a good average.
Let's wait for the president to change slide.
Yes. After you finish it, he will tell you to wait for me. Okay.
Okay.
Timmy, you have left me. Where are you?
Yeah, we are moving to the next prompt now, sir.
Sorry, please. How can I pin my location? I'm using a mobile phone, please.
Just touch it.
Just touch where you are streaming from or joining from. Just touch it on the map, and you have it done already.
Okay. Looks like we already have 11 people. So I'm going to move to the next question.
Jesus, again.
Timmy,
All right.
what happened? Okay. Well, on the next question. All right. I can see people already answering already. Solar energy. Wow. It's so interesting how that's the first one. I love it.
Yes. Oh, we need the Menti link and the code.
Biomass tech. I love it. Energy efficiency, hydrogen technology. Love it. Hydro.
Beautiful.
Biomass. Okay. Done. Mine could be wrong as it's white.
I think solar is okay.
Solar is winning. Oh. Guys, we need quicker response. We only have 4 people that have responded. Trust me, this is real-time analysis. I can see if you responded, and I'm sure you're also seeing yourselves as well. Participant has responded over the ones that are active. Okay. Guys, as soon as we get to like 10, we'll move to the next question.
Solar energies.
Solar seems to be winning.
What technology was?
It's
Tammy, are you there?
yes, I'm there, sir.
Should I move to the next question?
1 minute. Let's just hold on for a minute.
Sorry, please. I'm still having difficulties pinning my location.
Yikes. Olamide, I can see you asking for the Menti link. Just type menti.com and use the code. It's right there at the top of the screen. Type menti.com and just put in that code.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Please, I'm still having difficulties pinning my location. Can someone help?
Oh, we've already
So
moved from that question. You can't go back to it.
should just go on to the next question and fill in what tech you want to see in energy. Is that clear, sir?
Okay. Okay,
So
we're
I
on
think
11 now.
you can
Move
go
to. Okay.
to third question. Yes.
All right, guys, this is our final question. Please, let's do this quickly. We've run out of, we've gone beyond time, and we don't want to be those people. Let's do this one quickly. You're a member of the team, so just share with us what you think we should do as a community. Come on, quick. Nobody has anything. Zero. My God.
Where is the energy? Come on, let's put it in this.
More skill development, okay? Guys, we need some speed. Educate more people and drive the necessary innovation. Okay, all right. I'm sure people took their time to type in it. Knowledge sharing, peer-to-peer learning, capacity building to inspire more innovation, raise awareness for energy, support renewable energy. I love this. Make tech and innovation make sense in our language and in our context. I love it. Renewable energy training and orientation. Wow. Sure, we'll be bringing in more of Tenele and Lady Damlola to do some of this training. But I'll say awareness, it would be great to make majority masses aware of the benefit in using other energy sources than the conventional ones they know. Scholarship for students, it would help in gearing youth mindset to look forward to working in the renewable energy sector. Amazing. Okay, I'm even taking that one on board. I know Olamide has also been mentioning to me about something for students, scholarships. I love the scholarship idea. I really love the scholarship idea. Fire. We only have 7. If we get to 11, we close this off. If we get to 11, we'll close it off.
She don't get paid.
Deploy renewable energy solutions, guys. Let's do this quickly. So that we can wrap this up. Let's do it quickly.
Don't sit down.
Let's do this quickly. Come on. Are you guys writing like an essay? Tech for Good Africa and do more in energy sector by deploying affordable renewable solutions like solar mini grids and pay-as-you-go system, building local capacity through training and entrepreneurship. Competitions for youth to design solution. I think that's the best one I've seen. I love it. I think this group has more potential than even the government-enabled forces. So therefore, I recommend more practical enlightenment and then putting the work out. Thank you so much. Thank you. That encouraged my heart a lot. Thank you. Okay. Temioluwa, you left me. I'm here now, taking over the community as community leader.
I'm with you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. I appreciate it. Okay.
Thank you, sir. I think we
close it
can
off
move
here?
on.
Yeah? Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
we should.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much. I'm going to stop sharing now.
There will be enough room to, drop in our comments later on in the other sessions. Thank you very much once again.
Thank you, Tammy, for just even taking us through that. Really love the energy of Tammy. I love that I just love how I just love his heart. Even you can hear it from his voice, the heart that he has. Okay, guys, I'm not going to waste too much time. I can see that Olamide is also on the call, so I wouldn't give her a chance to finish what she was saying before. But really, what I just wanted to spend my time doing today is just to tell you why we exist. I just want to share with you why we exist and why you're here, why you have to be an ambassador for Tech for Good Africa. Why should you be an ambassador for Tech for Good Africa? What does it mean? And what does E equals MDQ, which is our metric, means? A lot of people would say Einstein created energy, and the concept of energy is E equals MC squared. If you know what E equals MC squared means, you know it's mass times the capacity and the speed of light. So you cannot take the electricity from the wire on your streets and just connect it to your laptop. It won't work. That's the concept. That's the best example. I know somebody put it in the chat there, that let technology be understandable to everybody. That's literally what Einstein's principle was, that energy must be put through a mass, and you must understand how it's moving in relation to speed. That's the best way I can explain it for you. The example I can use is that you cannot go to NEPA wire or the wire for your electricity outside on the street, the grid one, just pull it off, take your laptop, plug it to it, and just think it will blow. So you have to measure energy from that. So you hear things like energy cannot be contained, or it can only be converted. Those are the sort of things. But we took that, or I sat down and thought to myself, what would be the best way to measure technology in various locations so that we can be able to articulate effectively in relation to government policy, in relation to businesses, in relation to young people, in relation to the economy of a location. How do we measure how that technology is moving? And so we wanted to empower, and what we're doing is not we wanted to. I'm trying to change my statements a lot, and I don't know where I got this from, but I'm trying to change my statement. We're empowering Africa through technology, sustainability, and civic innovation. Remember, I mentioned about civic innovation before. If you heard our speakers today, they spoke about a lot around inclusivity and how we can do that. So who are we? We're a movement of innovators. I'm a very strong innovator. I love to innovate. I love to see new changes. I don't like to see things remaining the same. If something remains the same for too long, I'm like thinking to myself, you are becoming a stale thing. You need to change. There must be change. Even one thing I love the most is God. He says he's the same yesterday, today, and forever. But you see that he's in time. So that means there must be a way that he must have been yesterday and today and forever. But he's still the same. That means something's happening. But he brings about change. Him is a constant. So I can't even fight him. But he brings about change. Let there be light. And there was light. Even your life, every year you're celebrating your birthday, there is change. So I love innovation. Leaders, change makers across Africa, it is a movement of us. We're using technology as a force for sustainability, inclusion, and good. These three words you can call them very vague and very, yes, but as Leaders, as innovators, as change makers, we're coming together as a movement to use technology to move the force of sustainability, which is sustaining our world, making sure that whatever we take from it, we're putting it back to where we took it from, and the next person can come and see it and use it. Not that you use it anyhow and then don't care about what the next person is going to even, some of us, we use some things and we just throw them anyhow so that we don't even care what the next person is, how the next person is going to use it. We don't care. We're just like, I beg, I've done my own, I've enjoyed myself, bye. No, we want a sustainable city. Inclusion, we're able to bring everybody into it as we're doing it. We're even when they are not looking at us or they are not there, we're understanding that somebody is going to be part of this thing. A man, a woman, a youths, they are going to come and experience this thing. We're creating that and making sure that it does not do bad to people. It's always doing good for them. It's always offering them better life. It's always giving them a better source of income. We're also building Africa's future with verified data. If you know who I am, you know that I don't just love data. I love data that is verified. Verification of data is one of the things that we need to be doing in the forefront of Africa at the moment. Where did that data come from? Who has it? Are those people verified that put it out there? Who are they? Do they really do well for Nigeria? Do they do well for South Africa? So that you can know if that data is really verified. How did they source that data? Was it sourced by people putting it by themselves? Was it sourced by an IoT system collecting it, verified data? And then civic tech. Was this tech built by the local people? Did the local people want it? I've heard stories about them trying to put a well in a city and the people did not want it. Is this tech really working for the people? Can they understand it? Can it help their life? And then leadership, right? This one I'm very particular about. I love to see leaders become leaders. That is the reason why you as an ambassador, we're not just telling you to join as an ambassador, we're taking you on a journey to become a leader. So as you participate with us, you become a leader. We have this framework of E equals MD cube, and our framework as it is, as I've mentioned about Einstein, our framework here, and trust me, there's a lot of formulas going on at the moment. I'm designing formulas, I'm designing city formulas that can relate to policy. I'm doing constructions of that kind of thing. How can we create this into a way that is even digitalized? People can click buttons, they can share what's going on in their own place for the E equals MD. Is going to be brilliant. And you need to come and be part of helping us shape this framework. I was listening to Tenale today and I was saying to myself, is this something we need to pattern now? E equals MD cube. I started to think about what would that look like to pattern that. But guys, this is why you're here. Come and help us shape that. And the framework is energy or education is equals to media, data, design, and digital. Now, if you think about energy and education, it's two things. Your energy comes from the education you have. Even if you look at electricity, it comes from the grid of where they know how the source of that energy has come from. Whether it's a dam or it is a solar energy, it has to first receive the sunlight, which is education, and then give that energy out. So it's either you take the energy part of things and look at the media, data, design, and digital of it, or you look at the energy part of it and look at the media, data, design, and digital of it, right? This is why we are Tech for Good Africa. We want to see energy better in Africa. If you have a better energy in Africa, then you have better technology. If you have better education in Africa, then you have better technology. And the type of technology we're seeing thriving and growing every day is either you're seeing yourself in technology, in media, and for media, you're talking social media, graphics, videography, all of that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying. If you're talking data, you're talking data analysis, data science, data engineering, data center, and so on and so forth. Design, UI, UX, green design, sustainable design, and so on, architecture, so on and so forth, digitalization, software engineering, developer, cloud engineering, and so forth, and so on and so forth, anything that can digitalize something. That is who we are. What is our ethos? We believe technology is a civic duty. Trust me, I didn't start technology thinking to myself, I want to do technology because I'll make money. I actually knew that it was something I needed to do for my nation. Trust me, if you actually ask me what I really want to do in life, I just want to change the economy of Africa. I want to do economics. I like economics. I like looking at the value of a thing from a long-term perspective. I like looking at where the short-term thing is now and understand the short-term thing for the long-term thing. I'm such an economics in my mind. I can be looking at you as a person and I can tell what you are doing in your short-term and how it will fit into your long-term. I'm so analytical like that. I love It's what I love. But I knew that I couldn't do it alone as economics, because economics was changing. And I was sitting in those rooms and telling economists that we need to change economics. And one of the ways I knew I wanted to change economics was technology. I had this acronym in my head of Let's Do It, which is leadership, entrepreneurship, technology, sustainability, doing it through IT. You see what I did there? I did this acronym to myself, and I said I'll hold on to this acronym for the rest of my life, that everywhere I go, it must be a positive meaning of let's do it. So it's a civic duty to me to do innovation. So we want people in the community as well to see technology as a civic duty, even as much as it's an innovation. It is an innovation, but can it be a duty that you carry on, that technology, we must do it the right way, right? Africa's problem requires homegrown, human-centered solution. So we believe that we need to make our own solution. You've heard it today already. Before I even came to this presentation, I didn't see their presentation, but you're already hearing them saying, we need to build our own type of thing. We need to shape our own type of thing. My Olamide even came here and even mentioned, Sam wants to raise 100 billion. Yes, I like to see African things, African tag. I grew up abroad, but I like to see the African name everywhere. I want to see Naira, that the US is trying to buy Naira because our Naira is strong. So we believe that Africa's problem requires our own solution, the way we want to do it, right? Another thing we believe is that data, identity, and design are the new drivers of prosperity. This one is deep. When I was writing it today, I was looking at it as it's something in my mind. You know, if you think about data, if you think about your identity and think about how you are designing it, it's a way you design the new prosperity of the future. You know, the prosperity of the past was a capitalist prosperity. You know, you step on people, you compete, all of that for you to prosper, to be higher than others. But today, if you don't have the right information, because everybody has a phone in their hand, everyone has a phone in their hand. If you don't get the right information aligning to your identity, that's why you see that your social media is what you are, is the data of yourself that will be on your social media. It's shaping your identity. And so it's to start to design the way that you make money. It's interesting. And the billionaires of the future are those that understand this. So we believe this in our community, that data, identity, and design are the new drivers of prosperity. Finally, leadership is about empowering community first. Before you start saying you are empowering, or you are shouting somewhere, you're speaking somewhere, you're doing something somewhere, how many communities have you empowered? We do community first. If you're in our community, if you're in our leadership group, you know it's us first. How can we empower ourselves? Can you learn something new? Can you do that work? Why don't you do it first? Let's do it first. We can do it. It's a mindset. We're empowering community first. How can we help this community? How can we help young people? How can we help older generations? If you hear some of the innovations I tell Tech for Good Africa community, you'll be fascinated. Last year, I was saying to them, let's do Tech for Agberos. We actually went to the street and started asking Agberos. And if you don't know what Agberos are, they're the street guys that help you get on the bus. They're the ones that just take care of the community. Some of them could be looking tattered and stuff. We went and asked them, what do you know about tech? Do you know how to use your phone to do tech? Can you get a job with it? We want to think community first. Another time in Tech for Good Africa, I was saying, why don't we do a program for tech for elders? Because we're thinking these elders that we're telling to fund our businesses, they don't know what tech is. So when I tell them to give me 1 billion, they're like, 1 billion for what? Tech what? Do you think I'm Silicon Valley? They're answering us with, they don't understand what it is. So we need to be about empowering the community first to understand what we're doing. Our values are delivered by empowering our ambassadors with knowledge and community, training our leaders to drive sector transformation, and we'll talk more about that in a minute, partnering with organizations to scale civic tech solutions, and embedded in all of this is the Echo platform, Echo ID. And if you've not gotten your Echo ID or Echo platform, you would please go out there and do it. Check it out. Tammy, if you don't mind putting the link on the chat, www.theeconomyplatform.com. Please go and get your Echo ID. Just get the Echo ID first. We'll tell you more about what to do next. Get your Echo ID first. We'll tell you more about what to do next. We want to be able to verify data and its impact. So what are the current programs we already do at the moment? At the moment, we have a few programs. One of it is our Enter All Into Tech for Good, which you're on at the moment. At the same time, when you join our program, it's a 6-week program. When you finish this, we give you a badge. You're in. You join the WhatsApp group. You start participating in what we're doing, and you join a thematic area. As I've mentioned, what the thematic areas are: E equals MD cubed. So start to think today now, what am I good at? Is it energy? Am I thinking of education? Am I thinking of media, data, design? How do I want to shape myself to contribute as a civic person to the nation? Start thinking about that. And then when you're in, you can then go through our ATLA, African Technology Leadership Academy, where we actually train you on those 11 sectors. Remember, I mentioned that in every economy in the world, there's only 11 sectors in your nation. If you did not know this today, go and type it. As you can hear, I always tell the community things that they should be thinking about. For example, last week I was already telling them, do you even know when electricity started in Nigeria? Most times we don't go to research the things that would help us to design things properly. That's why, remember I mentioned data to identity to design. You did. DID. You did it. You did it. Your data, data, identity, and design. Right? So there's 11 sectors in the economy. We intentionally, that thematic area you have chosen, how can that thematic area design, for example, do you understand design for the 11 sectors of the economy? Do you understand data for the 11 sectors of the economy? Do you understand energy in the 11 sectors of the economy? I remember Tinele mentioned something about mastering the continent. So if we wanted to master the continent, the 11 sectors of the continent would be things like industrialization, customer goods, customer staple. If you take these 11 sectors and understand how energy cuts across them, I trust me, you'll be able to have an identity to design something new that will be a tech for good for those sectors. It's very interesting. I'm telling you about the strategy. We also do an award recognizing pioneers in energy, education, media, data. I can't say it all over again. Apart from that, we do ESG in tech, which comes in January, where we actually train people about ESG in technology. How do you do environmental sustainability governance in technology, driving environmental, social, and governance innovation through our training. After that, we do a strategic leadership forum. So those of us that have already gone through our training during the year, and trust me, I'm really intentional this year about ATLA really doing much. As we go into next year, you would be coming to our forum, and some of you would start your own company as entrepreneurs. Some of you start to go into careers. We'll also want to do a conference after that next year. Next year will be our first flagship conference. We're really looking forward to it, where we'll be talking about more, and I'll show you more about that in a minute. We also do the International Women's Day in Tech. This was started by Olamide. She just stood up and said, you know what, I'm a woman, we need to empower women. If you know her, you know her. Empower women, we're going strong. It's okay. They're championing women in leaders and innovation. What they did last year was they gave laptops. I was very impressed with that. They went out there, they got laptops, they got partnership. This is why I was saying in here, you can come and become a leader to set up your own program. Come and set programs up with us as ambassadors. You are becoming a leader when you do that. She started as an ambassador. She always say to me, this is the first place that she ever got her speaking engagements in. Yes, that's how things go here. We make people leaders. So come and start your own as well. So we do the International Women's Day. It's a really flagship event. Women are coming there, they speak, they share how their journey has been in tech, how they've done things. And look, we even started this program today with women. So me, I'm not even fighting. I'm about the women empowerment. If you know, I'm about the women and the youth empowerment. Everybody should become great, right? At the same time, we have think tanks and circles. We did a think tank this year that we had some policy come out of it. I'm still looking forward to the team putting that out there for everyone to read more about it, but you'll see it on our website coming soon. We do a think tank, we think about policies, and we recommend them and put it out there. And the circles are related to your thematic area. So if you join media, if you join data, you are in a circle already, and in your circles you can start to come up with sweetheart spaces, you can come up with a session, and you need a mentor from the community. These are the things that we're doing at the moment. What do we plan for the future? For the future, we have AI for good that we're already planning, leveraging artificial intelligence for social and civic tech, data for good, harnessing data for verified impact and informed decision making, green tech leadership program. We want to be able to say, how can you do green technology? You know, if you heard some of the questions today is, how do we produce solar panels? Some people, when they were going to university, all they thought about is coming out and working in Shell. That question came up today. How can you now become a green tech leader, right? Training in sustainable and renewable technology. Somebody even put it in the chat, and you guys did not see my presentation. Put it in the chat. Let's encourage universities to put in their curriculum. Digital Governance Lab, building civic tech solutions with the government. We are very particular about working with our government. There's nothing of doing good if it's not to do it to the government, except the government is the evil government. And we'll continue to make sure we convert our government to good, because if the head is good, the body has to automatically turn good. No, you do it short. It's short for me that if the head is good, the body must change. There's no, it's short. The body can do. The body must change. Yes, it is certain that we will put our government to do good. There's EcoCon. I've mentioned about our convention. We want to have the flagship one next year. Focus on sustainability and innovation and technology. It's called the sit-in concept, right? EcoBank initiative. These are long-term plans, future-facing financial inclusion and green banking platform. We're also thinking about doing the. And as we have more people in the community, we'll get to this FTIF, very unique concept, and I'll tell you more about it. I don't want to share what FTIF means yet, but it's a single currency simulation. What it does is that it uses data to drive model on regional integration. If you heard that I asked Tenele this question on how do we transfer innovation and still pay for it, there's something about that. And I know if we know the AFCTA, trust me, I'm a man that thinks far. I'm already seeing what this will be. I already see how will Africa have one currency. What would that one currency look like? Would it be Nigeria integrated into that currency? Naira, CD, all of it. You understand why I'm saying this with the FTIF as you are part of the community. So there's so much to do in the community. There's so much reason why you should be part of this community as an ambassador. So you are an ambassador already. You're an ambassador because you've joined this. You're an ambassador because you already have passion for tech. You already have passion to do that tech for good. And in you, there is a vision. As you can see, I'm already an ambassador. And every one of you, as soon as you finish this 6-week program, you would get a badge. I put the badge there. That's not the badge you're going to get. But this is just telling you that you will get a badge certified as a Tech for Good Africa ambassador, showcasing passion and driving a vision of seeing technology doing good in Africa. So what is your journey like? You say, how do I start this journey? Where do I am? You are now in it already. Your journey begins. It begins from this identity part. I've told you to sign up to the platform and get your Echo ID, and then we'll start to take actions. One thing we love in Tech for Good Africa is we want people to take action. You know all those things where people will be saying until they tell me to do it, are they going to pay me? We don't do that in Tech for Good Africa. If you come to Tech for Good Africa, you will know that I will cast you if you want to do that with us. We don't want that. Take action. And your action will convert to impact, because already the name Tech for Good Africa is that we want to make good impact. So come and take action and do impact. Together, we can create this new economy of sustainability, leadership that is good, and innovation driving our world. So start as a Tech for Good Africa. You join a thematic community, you receive your badge, you register for your Echo ID on the Echo platform, and you progress from becoming a leader. I want to see each and every one of you on this call. Trust me, it is my joy to celebrate your success when you are already a partner of what we're doing here. I want to see you in that place, that you already have a company. You know, Tenele now, she's a leader in the community. I want to see Tenele having her own company, and she's like, I'm partnering and sponsoring Tech for Good Africa. I want to see Lady Damlola. I want to see Aramide. I want to see Ugochi saying, you know what? I have a company. I want to be a partner on this. I want to fund you guys. I want to sponsor this thing you're doing. I hear you guys are doing this. I want to sponsor some entrepreneurs that have some great ideas for some new innovation. That's where we want you to get. That's why we're saying we don't want to start from the partners. You know, some people will start some things and just be looking for partners. No, we want you to all come and become ambassadors with us, and let's all together shape our mindsets together to become leaders and then becoming partners. Guys, there's nothing much you can do than become an ambassador. Be the ambassador. Be an ambassador for change. Go everywhere and tell people about, have you heard of Tech for Good Africa? I think you should be part of Tech for Good Africa. Become an ambassador. Then become a leader. You see, I said be an ambassador. Say it everywhere. That I don't do tech for bad. Don't be the person that says I'm still in the murky waters. I know I'm shading my wife now. But don't be that person. Be an ambassador. Let your brand be you. Don't be in one place, one leg in, one leg out. The Bible says that if you are hot and cold, I'll spit you out of my mouth. Don't be that kind of person. Be an ambassador. Then become a leader in it, because becoming a leader takes pain. You can hear Lady Damlola was already saying it takes pain to be the person that takes the other way around and say, you know what, I'm going to change this. It takes pain. And then partner after you become that to transform Africa, because when you have gone through that pain, there's nobody that can tell you anything. You will stand strong that I know what I've been through. So, what are you doing next? I wanted to tell Tammy to do this, but let me just run through this. Join the next session. The next 5 Fridays are going to be powerful. Our next one is going to be on education next week, Friday. Join it. There's going to be a feedback form sent to everybody that's joined this session today. Fill out the feedback form, right? And that's interesting because we had a lot of people sign up, but we didn't have anybody join the session. So it's going to be interesting how to get people to do this feedback form. Tammy, do you have a suggestion? The team, if you guys have a suggestion on how to do that, I didn't think about that. I didn't think that fast. But if you guys can come up with something on how we get everybody that joined this call today to fill out a feedback form. To get your badge, you must join 3 sessions. But Tammy, you want to say something? Go ahead.
Yes, I was going to say, can they all just quickly drop in their emails
Okay.
in the chat? So I just take that.
Okay, please just do what Tammy has said, please, guys, and let's put our emails in the chat, and we'll reach out to you with the feedback form. We just want you to fill it so we know people that are joining the session. You have to join 3 sessions to be able to get your badge and join into our community. Again, we're very strict. We're strong as Harvard. We don't play here. This is a community as strong as Harvard. We want to be able to make sure that we're filtering the evil from the good. I'm telling you. Invite others to this community. Tell them, see, there's 3 sessions for you to become a Tech for Good Africa ambassador. If you don't join those 3 sessions, sorry, you missed. So you still have 5 sessions left for you to become that leader. Share what you have learned today and tag us. Whatever you have learned today, we are very loud about doing Tech for Good in Africa. If you know anybody in Tech for Good Africa, they like to be loud. They want to be out there telling everyone, I'm in Tech for Good Africa. What you have learned today, share it everywhere. Together, we can power Africa's journey through technology, sustainability, and civic innovation. I thank you, each and every one of you guys, for joining today. This is a space, and you guys will help us create that space where everybody can lead together, not lead alone. You know, leaders we can all lead together. Thank you very much, everyone. God bless you guys. It's Olamide on the call. Olamide, are you there on the call? I want to give you a chance to close up before I close up today's session. Are you still there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. Here's your chance to close up what you were saying before I wrap up today's session.
I believe you've covered everything, actually. I was just speaking on why do it for good and encouraging everyone in the energy space, and then speaking to 4 of the pillars that as we build out the energy collective within Tech for Good Africa, we will then start to look at entrepreneurship and how together we can get it right. And in the collective as well, that checklist will be shared for anyone who's really ready to take that deep dive. And then policies that we need to build, and also infusing sustainability, how we need to go. There's a sustainability session we'll be having coming up real soon, so we can always build that together. And really, the call is to actually not just light up cities, it's to light up even our own lives, because even our own human energy must also be for good. So it's the time to build. It's the time to build for good. So let's do it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ma. I'm just going to say thank you to all our participants
Tammy.
again. Thank
Tammy,
you
just wrap
for
up us. Thank you, guys. See you all.
yes. Thank you for joining. We are so sorry to take your time. We'll do well to manage our time next time. Thank you very much. And let's keep the fire burning. Let's not just leave it here. Let's go back. Like our speakers have said, let's go and see our communities. Let's think on the problems that are there, identify the gaps, uncover opportunities. There's so many things we can do, and we can do that. So if you are yet to drop your email, please do before we end the call. Thank you, guys. Come on, let's have your emojis applauding yourselves for staying to the end. Come on, I can see Ugochi. Thank you.
Let's take a photo now. Everybody can turn on camera. Let's take our first photo now. We have to.
Oh, Beautiful.
If you guys don't mind, let's take a photo. I want to take a photo of everybody looking so cool. Oh
Thank you,
wow.
Heartbeat. How
Uh-uh. Tadele is there with the yes, let's go. It's good to see you, man. Love it. Wow, wow, wow. I love that. I love that. I love that. I love that. Good to see you. Good to see you. Guys, let's turn on our camera. I can see Ogogo looking sharp. It's the beards for me. Yes, man. It's the beards for me. Guys, if you can turn on your camera, Olamide, we can't see you. We can see your glasses. Maybe you can turn on the lights in the car where you are. Gideon, are you there? Peace. Everybody, you can turn on your camera if you don't mind. Isaiah, Isaiah is already in San Francisco. My God. My God, he's in San Francisco. I love it. I love it. Okay, I think I'll go with this. Are we ready? Are we ready? I'm about to capture. I'm ready. Are we ready? Yeah? Okay. Awesome. Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much. God bless you. You were what? Well, I've taken photos, Ma.
One more shot now.
For what? For your makeup.
took her glasses off.
Okay, let's take another one. Let's take another one. All right, let's go. Are we ready? Are we ready? Okay. Ugochi, where are you? Okay, we ready?
There's no light where I am. I can't even
Hey.
see myself.
Hey, I will just did the energy session. We need to get a mini grid to your session. All right, let's go. Awesome. Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much. God bless you all. See you. Have a good night. Have a good night, everyone. Bye, bye, bye.
Thanks, Heartbeat.
No, you didn't. Thank God we stopped recording. No, you did not. It is well. The heart is beating. We can see how the heart is beating. It's beating and putting passion everywhere. We thank God. We thank God. It's good to see you, man. Good to see you. And you've also got a powerhouse there with you. I love it. Love it. We're blessed men. Blessed men, eh? What can we say? What can we say? Awesome. Awesome. All right, everyone. Have a good evening. We look forward to seeing you guys more and more of you guys. All right. See you all.
All right, bye. See you.